How goes the family? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Today's subject matter, always, you know me, I'm always going to pick out my favorite ones. We're talking about the good old Master P, Percy Miller. If you've been a subscriber of Larry's Anything Goes LLC for some time now, family, you know that I've always been a big fan of Master P, Percy Miller, New Orleans, Louisiana's own. I've always been a fan of this man because he's always been about making money moves on multiple levels, being so busy to the point where he's fallen down 7 times and gotten up 50 times. This man is just a great continuous business mogul, and we have nothing but love and respect for him. And he has recently partnered up with former Tesla engineer to create the world's first black-owned supercar, which is a beautiful thing because it's all about the ownership class and the investment class in this country right now and beyond, not just the working class. Master P, and I'm not talking about bad about working people. I'm just saying if you're going to be the person that's going to have a job and have a career, great, be an investor. If you're a business person, you know you have to be an investor. So it goes hand in hand. Master P has always been a man that has lived up to his mantra of no limit, which was the name of his record label, meaning, hey, there's no limit to where he can go in this life. And there's no limit to where his family and his friends can go in this life because he's always surrounded by good, positive, motivating, and intelligent people. Master P is definitely more than a rapper, family. He is an entrepreneur mogul that so many generations have so much respect for him and his family, and I'm one of them. Now, according to the article that I actually read the other day, Master P posted on his Instagram that he is looking at purchasing a historically black-owned college, HBCUs, in the future. Master P stated, and I quote, "I used to want to own an NBA, National Basketball Association team, but now I want to own an HBCU, historically black college, university." Now, he said, "This message is all about educating our people," he stated. "Anybody that's listening to this and has a business, I want y'all to join this movement with me. We need to make sure our kids get educated the way other cultures are educated." And I couldn't agree with that statement more, family, because it's very typical within the Jewish community, Asian communities, Muslim communities, and Hispanic communities for people that have their own sort of education, if not within a religious institution, then to have their own education within the home institution, as I like to call it, in order to, and to educate their own not only just for the current and future generations to compete economically in the United States of America, but definitely across the world because it's a global economy no matter what the situation may be. And I just think that it's just something there's various kinds of educations that people can get out here, but everybody's learned because of the pandemic, the most important education to have outside of the normal is economic financial education. That's why my shirt says financial intelligence is sexy, because that's the sexiest thing that I see nowadays. That's just how I look at it. Okay. Anyways, back to the story at hand. In the United States of America, we have a great education system. Heck, one of the best in the world, family. I couldn't agree with that statement more. However, most public education systems they basically do a great job of teaching people how to read, absolutely, right, basic math and history lessons, okay? But most educational institutions are truly preparing people to just get a job and not how to create one. That is the problem, okay? Not how to create one or how to become a successful investor. That's why we call YouTube University is a great place for you to get at least the one-on-one aspects of it, of certain things in life, and you try to implement and go from there, see what works for you, because what works for me might not work for you, and et cetera and so forth. Because at the end of the day, that is what the economy works for, the business owners and the investors, not just successful employees, okay? Also, when people attend cultural institutions, they have the opportunity to learn about themselves, their cultural history, and create connections within their community as well. I think that's a beautiful thing. Nothing wrong with learning about who you are. I mean, heck, when I did my DNA test, it's about to be 2 years now, and I found out that my ancestors actually, not just obviously before they came from the South, they actually hail from Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea, West African countries. And one interesting thing is the geography of the Southern California area is basically the geography of where my ancestors come from in West Africa. And that's why I love the Southern California area so much, between the mountains, the beaches, the palm trees, the deserts. It's like if you really look at the geography, Southern California really has the same geography of West Africa as a whole, especially the nations that my ancestors come from. So there's nothing wrong with learning about your people and being able, because when you know who you are, you can definitely know where you're going. You know what I mean? So I think that's very interesting. Just my personal opinion on that one. All right. Now, back to the story at hand. Because I think with more cultural institutions opening up, people are getting a better sense of self. When you have a better sense of self, you can work on your health and you can work on your wealth. I just leave it at that, okay? But at the end of the day, the economy works for the investors and the business people all at the same time. That's all I can say. All right, Master P's official statement on Instagram was this, and you can check it out for yourself, but I'm going to read it. More women graduate from HBCUs than any other university, and I love that, he stated. If we are going to change the narrative, it has to start with the truth, education, and economic empowerment. I agree with that as well. He stated, I was shocked when I Googled who owned and founded HBCUs. We can't change the past, agreed, but we can change the future by investing in the next generation. And I couldn't agree with that statement more. And that's what a lot of times people, the beautiful thing about the United States of America, everybody has their agenda, and that's cool. The beautiful thing about politics is no matter what side you fall on, everybody has their agenda. That's why you have lobbyists. People go to DC to lobby for certain issues that they want to work on. People contact their congressman or woman or their senator or sometimes a local senator, and heck, nowadays all you can do, you can email or call, and you don't even have to physically go to the location, and you address specific grievances that you have. That's beautiful. But when you got money behind that, it's a whole nother conversation. When there's business involved, it's a whole nother conversation. So when you own the institution, it's a whole nother conversation once again. Okay, a lot of times people love to complain about certain things, and you have that right. However, if you don't own that specific thing, you really don't have that much wiggle room to complain about it. You either move on to something else or you have to create your own. That's just the way it works, all right? And he also stated that they are going to have to sell some of these schools to us or fund it the same way other major institutions are funded. Hashtag God is good, join the movement. And I couldn't agree with this statement more with Master P, for a variety of reasons, family. I've said this once and I will say this again, family. The person who owns the business, real estate, etc., controls the narrative. And Master P has always been about ownership, partnership, and opening up opportunities for others who want a hand up and not a handout. So Mr. Percy Miller, aka Master P, you have and will always continue to inspire us all. Please keep up the good work, because I've been the beautiful thing is I've been watching this man and his family since I was a teenager, and he's always been inspirational. Because even back then it was just nice to hear a rapper talking about business ownership, getting into other things. It's like at that time it was between him, Diddy, Jay-Z, Dame Dash, Jay Prince, like I said, I can't forget. It was those people during my time when I was coming up in the music industry where I saw the ownership brand, the ownership class. Even the Suge Knight, even though he had his issues, it was about ownership from a music perspective, from a clothing perspective, from a movie perspective, from a beverage perspective, from a real estate perspective. Even in Master P's case, he had a case. He had his own sports league he was creating. Ice Cube, another great example, in LL Cool J with sports leagues, sports management. I mean, just the list goes on and on. And if you're going, at the end of the day, you are the people that you hang out with. So if you're around people that just want to talk about materialistic stuff, then that's what's going to be embedded in your brain is real estate. If you're around people that's talking about business and investment, that's what's going to be embedded in your brain is real estate. Great example. Later on tonight, I'm going to get on Hbcu University and listen to, they call it Market Monday and whatnot, where they talk about the stock market, what's it looking like now, what certain stocks people should think about getting into, and a lot of great information. Because nowadays the beautiful thing about the digital world is if you can't physically be around people that are like-minded, then you can definitely digitally be around people that are like-minded, and that's the beauty and the power of the internet. All right. So on that note, family, do the great 3 free things: like, share, and subscribe. If you're thinking about joining the GS Partners, Gold Standard Partners, the link is in the description. I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times, but you see the G999, that's an actual Bitcoin within itself that the GS Partners owns. It's an opportunity, if you're in the Bitcoin game, for you to not only buy Bitcoin, but be able to purchase a specific package, refer others to do the thing. Same thing, it's referral marketing, and you can make money off of every time they refer somebody or they purchase Bitcoin, and you can get paid in Bitcoin. I think it's a beautiful time frame where people can get paid in Bitcoin and cash money all at the same time by various different investments and go from there. But obviously, when it comes to investments, do your own homework. Don't just take it from a guy on YouTube, and we go from there, right? And remember, it's 2021. You can't get fired if you own the company, and it's time for everybody to own a little something. If you're going to be a worker your whole life, cool. Own some investments. If you're going to be a boss, you already got an investment. So it is what it is. But these are the time frames that we're living in, and hopefully you guys have a great day. Because remember, make money moves or live broke like a fool. Take care, family.